Tommy Rex, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Venom on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now, here's your host.
The Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns May 14th through 17th with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown. Plus, Pierce the Veil, Good Charlotte, The Offspring, Sublime, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, and so many more. Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, May 14th to 17th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at sonictemplefestival.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and I'm going to be talking with the daddy ghoul himself, Mr. Markus Laakso of the band. I'm sorry, did I butcher your last name? I should have asked you first. How do you say your last name?
I'm used to it because I went to school in the States for a couple of years, and everybody had such a hard time pronouncing my last name. But in Finnish, it's pronounced Laakso.
Laakso.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Markus Laakso, the daddy ghoul himself of the Ghoulstars. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good. Just chilling in my home studio and starting to do these interviews. This is actually my first one with the album.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. I get to get Daddy Ghoul's cherry on the podcast interviews.
Exactly.
So usually when I have people on for the first time, I like to go like way back with them, though. So do you remember when you were little ghoul, like what you originally wanted to be when you grew up?
Not really. I don't think I had like I didn't want to be a fireman or a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. I was always into music a lot, and I started listening to music when I was like, I don't know, 4 years old or something like that. And during that time in Finland, basically Kiss and Wasp and Twisted Sister and bands like that were children's music. Everybody was into them. So I've been listening to heavy metal basically for my whole life. And after that, I discovered like punk rock and all these other genres. But and my musical taste is very vast. I listen to a lot of stuff, not just metal or punk or stuff like that. Like, for example, I'm super into Lana Del Rey, and I absolutely love her music and lyrics. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm pretty good at writing. So writing and music, those are my things and have been since day one.
Nice. And yeah, I never heard like Kiss and Wasp referred to as children's music before, but like, so, you know, even at like 4 years old, was there I mean, were other people playing that music for you, or that, I mean, those were just what you were already attracted to?
There were some older kids in my yard that we played in that were a little bit like a couple of years older than I was, and I was taping stuff from them, like Alice Cooper and Kiss and stuff like that. And also my parents listened to, or at least my dad listened to, a lot of music when I was growing up. So I discovered some good stuff from his record collection also, like, for example, Dire Straits and Elvis and where my name comes from, Daddy Ghoul. It's a reference to Boney M's song Daddy Cool. So I listened to a lot of Boney M as a kid also, but then just the heavier stuff took me elsewhere.
And then as you got like older, listening to the heavier stuff, when was it that you decided, that you were going to start performing it yourself?
I was quite old, to be honest, like 20 something, and Chaos Weaver, my first band, is actually the first band that I recorded an album with. I recorded 2 albums with Chaos Weaver. The first one came out in 2008. So I've been a recording artist since, and this Ghoulstars album is actually my 8th full-length album. And I did a couple of or like 3 or 4 records with my previous band Laakso, which is also hard to pronounce for a foreigner, I guess. But that's basically like death doom, and with Mikko from Swallow the Sun providing the vocals on that. And actually the drummer of Ghoulstars also played in that band.
And when was it like that you started putting those bands together, and what was like the getting out and playing? What was the scene like where you grew up at?
I'm from a town called Kuopio, and originally I'm from the Helsinki area, but I went to school in Kuopio, and it was actually quite active in the early 90s. There were a lot of like underground death metal bands, and like local shows were happening pretty much all the time, but that was like super underground. No big bands came to my town, and I vividly remember my first big concert that I went to. It was in December of, I think I remember the date actually. It was the 16th of December in 1992 when I saw Metallica play in Helsinki, and that was like a mind-blowing experience. The first metal show that I ever went to was this local band called Tarot with Marko Hietala, who's famous from Nightwish since. He plays in that band, and I went to see them. They played at the local market square in I'm an old guy, but in 1986, the summer of 1986, and that was also like a mind-blowing experience. It felt almost like unreal. The coolness was like over the top, and I was like, wow, I'm really looking up to these people. And I don't know if it was a dream of mine even then that I want to make music and perform live, or did it come later? But I certainly was and still am a huge fan of good music.
And then when was it like that the Ghoulstars came together for you? We already heard kind of like the inspiration for the Daddy Ghoul name, but what was inspired you to start up the Ghoulstars?
Well, it came together when we recorded the last album with Laakso in, I think, 2021, and it was supposed to be an easy session, and since the songs were a little bit harder than on the previous albums, it actually took like a week longer than we expected. So that album was very hard to record. We had all sorts of technical issues, and the songs were harder to play, and there was much more stuff to play because the arrangements were more difficult and more colorful than on the previous albums. So as we got the album done, I took a road trip with my family, and we were driving like south from here. We took like a week off and just hung around and saw some sights or stuff like that. And when we were returning home, I felt like listening to Welcome to Hell by Venom. And I was like, as I was listening to it, I was like, okay, this just simply works. There's just three guys and not playing that well together, but it just clicked. It was like a eureka moment for a week. I want to make something that is not so difficult to record and perform. So basically, it's all thanks to Welcome to Hell from Venom. And when I got back home, I instantly decided that I'm gonna write 10 songs in 10 days, just for the hell of it, to see if I can do it or not. And I didn't record 10 songs in 10 days, but I think I recorded 8 songs and wrote 8 songs in 9 days. And some of the songs are on the Ghoulstars album. And when I realized that, God damn it, these songs are actually great, that made me want to start up a band and call a few friends and see what they think of it. And everybody was like very excited about the songs. And so we just like, I was used to making an album and then going out touring, but this time I wanted to do it old school. So I wrote the songs, then we rehearsed them, and then we had been playing shows before we actually recorded the full length and got a record deal and stuff like that. So this album is very old school in many ways, and one of them is that it's basically a love letter to everything that I loved when I was like a teenager, like 14, 15 years old, when I discovered like the Misfits and Bad Religion and like later on like White Zombie and bands like that. I had been into like for example Alice Cooper when I was like very little, like 5 years, 6 years old or something. But well, he is the godfather of all horror in music, so big props to him too.
Nice. And then like coming up with the name, the Ghoulstars, what inspired that?
I don't remember. I wanted to have this the word ghoul in it for some reason, and then I made a list of possible names or words that I could attach to it, and somehow the name Ghoulstars, when I figured it out, it instantly clicked, and I wanted to have the in front of it, the Ghoulstars. That's important for many reasons, and one of it is that it makes the logo a little bit more difficult, but it also brings something extra to it.
Yeah, agreed. And as you were saying, you recorded like the 8 songs in 9 days, and you know, reached out to some friends because you knew you had something here and wanted to put this thing together, and you kind of like put together like an all-star cast of the death and doom genre. How did those relationships come together for you?
Whenever I come up with some new music or new project, I instantly call the drummer Toni Ronkainen in this band with alias Gulio. He is my main guy. I always want him to play the drums because, well, he's the best drummer that I know, basically, and he's such a mellow and nice guy that I get along with him like super well. So that was like the first guy that I called, and I had in mind originally that I wanted it to be a trio like Venom. So I called up Markus Makkonen, who used to play in Hooded Menace and actually sang vocals live also in that band, and he has a couple of other death metal bands like Sadistic Forest and Nerve Saw. And I knew that he was like a like a bassist vocalist guy. And originally I thought that we should have only like sort of like semi growl vocals and not like this stuff that is actually on the album. So at first we were a trio, and I think we actually played a couple of shows as a trio, and then we decided that these songs are too good to mess up with only this like one-dimensional growling vocals. So I asked around that from my friends that can they recommend some guy that lives in the area that could do some like sort of like Rob Zombie style vocals. And a bunch of my friends recommended this guy Arthur that actually ended up joining the band, and that was like the final click that clicked. We came to this very room, and I played the whole album's worth of demos to him, and we had a nice night of drinking beer and talking about Samhain and these underground bands, and he's also a very mellow guy, and that was important. I want absolutely no egos and no drama, and these guys are far from that. So that was very important one.
Nice. It's like rare to find some of those these days, so it's good
Yeah.
to makes things easier when you trying to collaborate on music and everything, for sure.
Yeah, and I also wanted everybody to live close by so we can actually rehearse. And that has been an issue with my previous bands, that people live all over the country, so it's very difficult to get together and actually do what musicians do, which is play.
Yeah. And then I wanted to ask about the single "To Ghoul For School," and then the music video as well, putting that together. A lot of Easter eggs thrown around in there. You want to share a little bit about that?
I think originally I just got the chorus like stuck on my head, like to Ghoul for School. It came somewhere like a bolt of lightning to my head. And I suppose when I've been thinking about that retrospectively, I think the influence for that came from Motley Crue's "Too Fast for Love" or something like that, and there are a lot of Easter eggs in that song, especially on the lyrics. Well, musically too, but there's like a one Elvis reference and a Snoop Dogg shout out basically, and if you know the song "Ballroom Blitz" by Sweet, which was covered by Tia Carrera in the movie Wayne's World.
Yeah.
A tribute to that, and a little bit of a tribute to Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC, and the videos like full on 80s Twisted Sister, Motley Crue, Alice Cooper, school sorts of stuff. But actually, one of the I thought that you might ask something about movies, but this particular movie, Rock and Roll High School, this is obviously a big influence on the Twisted Sister videos that are set at some school grounds. But it was a big influence on us as well, like making the video, and that was sort of like a mind trip to. We actually filmed at my previous high school, where I haven't been to in decades. So most of the school scenes are from there, and some others are from another school. But it was so nice to get back to my we were filming during daytime. It was like 1 p.m. and we had like full corpse paint on, and we just entered the school, and we had agreed with the principal that we're going to be shooting during school days. And I think I think the students had gotten some sort of a message about that. But anyways, like 4 dudes with full-on corpse paint, and then the film crew just walk into the school while there was some sort of recess, and there were like hundreds of students like watching it. What the hell's going on? Who are these guys, and what the hell are they doing here? But it was a pretty cool shoot. I've made a lot of music videos, or have been a part of a lot of music videos, and that was like one of the coolest. And one of the coolest things about the video was also that there's this line in the song that says, "Hey, sit back in my Cadillac." So I was thinking that, do I know anybody that has a Cadillac? Because Cadillac's not a regular car around here. So I knew this one guy, this one collector guy who has like guitars of everybody that's ever been famous, and I knew that he had recently bought Alex Eliah's Cadillac, the Children of Bodom guitar player legend. So I phoned him up that, hey, can I borrow your car? So basically, the car that we're driving in is Alex Eliah's Cadillac in the video, which was like a nice cherry on top. And it actually has like, there's this one scene that you can see that that Wunderbaum, the smelly tree thingy that you have in cars,
Yeah, yeah.
refreshener of sorts. That's original Alex Eliah's stinky tree.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like here in the States, it sounds like everybody's pretty mellow there at the schools and everything. Because here in the States, I think it induced some trauma, or you have to go through a lot of paperwork to be able to walk in with ghoul paint, and film at the schools here. Unfortunately, these days.
Yeah, that must be true. The world is screwed up, which is kind of
Yeah.
bad. But in this case, I just I don't remember if I phoned up the principal or did I send her an email. But anyway, that's basically what it took. We just went there and had a nice talk with the principal, or actually 2 principals of 2 schools, and didn't have to even sign any papers. There was just like a wish that please don't make a gory video, please don't have any blasphemy, please don't desecrate the school grounds. But that was it. They just trusted us, and we are trustworthy guys, so it went well.
Nice. The trustworthy Ghoulstars.
Yeah.
And then I was checking out some of the tracks from the album that will be coming out later this year, May 15th. The single for the Dead in Purgatory. You mind telling a little bit about that?
Is it the second song on the album?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that has basically because it has a whistling solo of sorts.
Yeah.
And that was well, I'm a big fan of Ennio Morricone's, who has made these Western soundtracks. So it was a shout out to him. And I recorded that whistling. It was made by me personally, and it was such a tough job to nail it, because I think it's like 135 beats per minute, and it has like those sort of things. So it was very difficult to record and to double. It has 2 tracks of whistling on top of each other, but yeah, that's something that also got the eye or the ear of Michael from Season of Mist, and he's the general manager and the owner of Season of Mist, and that was like one of his favorite tracks, and probably one of the reasons that he wanted to sign us. And it's basically sort of like Western style, and even some people have been comparing it to, I don't know if you're familiar with the Danish band called Volbeat. They're quite
Yeah, oh,
big.
yeah.
Yeah, some people have told me that this sounds a little bit like Volbeat, but to my mind, it basically sounds more like the '90s Misfits with Michael Graves. But I don't know. It's up to the listener. But
Nice.
it's a pretty good song. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah,
Lots.
yeah, I enjoyed it too. And like you said, that it took me back to that Western feel that I grew up around. And you know, how many whistling solos do you get in metal albums these days? So, you know,
Exactly. And
that's pretty.
that's actually one of my favorite topics of discussion. That can you name a bad song that has whistling? All the songs that have whistling are awesome.
True, true. And then the other one I liked was the Ballad of the Cursed Bandits.
That's a funny story, actually.
Yeah, tell me about that one.
I have to share this. We had 9 songs when we started recording this album, and we made a pact with the drummer that let's make like a bonus track on the album, like for example, Nevermind by Nirvana has like this bonus track, Endless Nameless, that comes like 15 minutes after a 15-minute silence. There's this hidden bonus track. And as we were recording the album, and there was this guy helping me out with the guitar sound, so I told the drummer that, hey, I'm gonna take this guy home now, and I'll be back in like a half an hour, and just record something with the drums, because we sort of made this deal that he will record drum tracks without knowing what riffs I'm gonna provide to his tracks. So when I came back after like, I don't know, 25 minutes, he had like recorded a song with or basically just drum beats, like a D beat, old school hardcore punk drum beat, that or all the drum beats that are actually there. We didn't change one thing. So when I heard those drum beats, I took my guitar and just started jamming, and instantly came up with the opening thing, and then it has that D beat. I came up with that riff on the spot. So that song, I wrote the guitars to in. Well, that guy, I think the song lasts for like 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that. That's how long it took him to write his drum parts, and it took me about 15 minutes to come up with the riffs. So it basically was born on the spot. And then when I made the lyrics to it, and with like with all my other bands as well, I always do the lyrics and the vocal arrangements. And as I was making the vocal arrangement, I realized that, man, this is going to be so good, and we can't leave it as like a hidden bonus track. It has to be on the album and be prominently present. So then when I came up with the idea that, okay, this song is about these like sort of cursed train robber guys, I knew that, okay, I'm gonna have to put some immersive stuff to it, meaning like noises of a train passing by, and that song even has like a horse solo sort of, and revolvers clocking and banging and stuff like that. So it just it came very, very spontaneously and fast, and it's one of my favorite tracks on the album, and we're definitely going to use that method in the future as well. Being spontaneous, sometimes it's just much better than just working on one minor detail for months. So
Yeah.
that's the story of that. And also we got to use the legendary HM2 Swedish buzz show, a pedal that all the Entombed and Dismember and bands like that use, and you can hear it in the intro of that. It just makes that squeaking sound.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that one too. Now, as we mentioned, the album, The Dark Overlords of the Universe, is coming out May 15th of this year. I want to ask about the inspiration for the album name, but I also kind of got like a Kiss Destroyer vibe from the artwork.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
I think Destroyer by Kiss it's the coolest artwork that I know, basically. And a lot of bands owe a lot to Kiss, and a lot of times Kiss is just seen as this stupid gimmick band, but it's actually very influential across the metal and rock scene. And I just wanted to pay tribute to the coolest album cover that I know, and not copy it, but sort of like make it look like us. And it's based and the guy who painted it, I got in touch with him. He's called Niko Anttila. He's from near here, like 150, like 100 miles from here. And I had seen his paintings and really loved what he does. And he had this painting that I don't remember what it had, but there were these stars that were falling in the background. And I specifically wanted him to have those stars like falling from the universe behind us, since we're the dark overlords of the universe, that even the stars fall from the sky. So yeah, and it became, I love the cover artwork. It's it looks to me what the music sounds in my ear. So that's a good match.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
And the album name is well, if you've seen the 1986 classic Howard the Duck, it's actually from there.
Nice. And that was supposed to be based in my hometown, Cleveland, right?
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, like previously, that this album has a lot of Easter eggs, and as I said, that it's a tribute to everything I loved as a teenager. It really shines through this album, and it has been made with a lot of love and a lot of fun memories to stuff that I still find fascinating. So
Nice.
it's basically a love letter to my 15-year-old self and everybody who has inspired me as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, it was taking me back as well. So I was enjoying the journey that I got to go on listening to it. Now, when it comes out, do you guys got any tour plans for support?
We haven't booked that many shows yet, but there has been talks of a couple of very, very cool tours that we possibly could join, but that's not up to us at this moment. We're working on it, but let's see. The other one would be like around Finland, and the other one possibly somewhere in Europe, but that's wishful thinking at this moment.
Nice. Yeah, I just want to get the album out to ears, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have to see where it takes us. It has actually been a surprise to me how many times the video has been watched on YouTube, and the song Ghoul For School was actually on the radio at the Finnish national network during daytime today, and that was a surprise to me as well. A good one, but yeah, a surprise.
Nice. And then now you guys have already played, a lot of these tracks live, correct?
Yeah,
Um, what's the audience reaction been? Which one's been your favorite to play live as well?
everybody loves the Dead in Purgatory. It's just the whistling thing that makes the audience crazy.
Do
And
they whistle along too?
I think they try, but it's kind of hard to whistle that loudly. But that's definitely one of the favorites, and a lot of people have come up to me saying that, hey, I have that two Ghoul for School stuck in my head for many days after hearing it once. And personally, I like my favorite track is "They Dance Upon Our Graves," the last song on the album. That song basically has everything that's on the album and a little bit more. It starts with this doomy riff and it ends in basically like a death metal tremolo picking thingy, and it has like super melancholic verses and sort of like a cheerful chorus. But my favorite part in that song is the C part with that whoa, that sort of thing, and with the guitar melodies and harmonies in the background. That's one of the proudest moments of Daddy Ghouls in that album.
Awesome. Yeah, so I want to be cognizant of your time, because you know how it is when you're playing on a bill and somebody goes over their time and it throws the whole set off. And I know you got other interviews to get to. So before I let you go, for anybody out there in the audience that's new to hearing about the Ghoulstars and wants to support you guys and check you out, where would you send them?
Bandcamp. I mean, the Ghoulstars.bandcamp.com. There you can order some exclusive merch and vinyl and CDs, like pre-order the album, and we're gonna have more stuff there. And obviously, if you're around or if we're around your town, I'd be happy to see you. Always nice to meet fans and perform good music. And with this band, actually, the response from my point of view is a lot different than, for example, my previous band that played like heavy and doomy music, because the audience was like that then, but now they're like smiling and going, yeah. and
Nice.
there's something definitely that resonates in this material to a large crowd, and I hope that people will discover the band, because I haven't made this sort of feel good music. I don't know if you can call it that, but if you listen to my previous albums, it's sort of like very entertaining and catchy.
For sure. I agree. Well, Markus, man, I appreciate the time talking to you and learning more about the Ghoulstars. Before I let you go, could I ask you one last favor? Do you mind cutting a promo ID for the show? Just introduce yourself, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Okay, if I can, yeah. So, hey, this is Daddy Ghoul, and you're listening to today's Boon. Sorry, gotta take that again.
Right.
Yeah, this is okay. Hey, this is Daddy Ghoul from the Ghoulstars, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Awesome. Nailed it. See, I'm breaking you in for the next couple interviews if they ask you to do the same thing. I'm helping you out there. So thanks for helping me out, man. I really appreciate it. It was good talking with you. And hopefully you guys make it to the States sometime so I could come check you out in person.
I totally agree. I would like to perform in the States. Like that would be my number one dream with the band. But let's see, because everything costs so much nowadays, and
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
difficult. But thank you
Exactly.
for the support, and thank you for this nice talk with you, and thank you for the listeners.
All right. You take care, man. Thanks.
You too. Okay.
Alright! Listen up! Hold on to your seats! Grab your girls, grab your beers!
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Venom Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now, here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, so one Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.
Fasten your seatbelts.